Hi, I'm the Torch news anchor Lisa Young, and you are watching Hi-Lightz with the Torch. Each episode will shine a light on some of the biggest news, entertainments, and sports from around the GTA, Canada, and the world. Let's get started with one of the biggest events that has everyone talking, the U.S. presidential election. It's been a wild campaign, with mudslinging coming from each side and accusations all around. On October 19th, Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton and Republican nominee Donald Trump had their final say on issues in Las Vegas during the third presidential debate. While many hoped this would be the debate that could help voters make their final decisions ahead of election on November 8th, it didn't take long for personal attacks and cartoonish antics to begin.
My microphone is broken.
The night started off with obvious tensions on both sides, but the candidates stayed on topics without side stories or hurling insults for at least the first 30 minutes. However, once the topic moved to immigration, the gloves came off, and for Donald Trump, he started his interruptions once again.
Wrong.
When the topic shifted to the allegations of sexual assault brought against Donald Trump by 9 women, the Republican nominee went full Donald. From going off on his usual rants about things that don't relate to the questions,
Where'd you find this?
to hurling insults, lies, and claiming everything is rigged, Donald certainly didn't disappoint for bringing entertainment to the debate. While this has certainly been the most interesting election in history, the entertainment doesn't change the fact that some things got said are downright scary. For the first time in history, a candidate would not commit to accepting the election results. Donald Trump, wanting to keep his opinions open to toss around rigged election talk if he loses, said he would keep people in suspense. The debate only got worse from there until a defining moment near the end where he called Hillary Clinton a nasty woman.
That's pretty funny.
If anything, this year's election process has only been good for comedic spoofs and late-night monologues. The American people will have their say on November 8th. Let's hope for the sake of everyone across North America and around the world that it's the right decision. The Blue Jays playoff series have been up and down since their wild card game against the Baltimore Orioles. And while the Jays pulled off a huge win against the Orioles to put them in a 2015 rematch series against Texas, what might be the biggest moment in the game was a fan tossing a beer can at Baltimore outfielder Hyun-Soo Kim. Alleged tosser Ken Pagan was charged with mischief in early October after turning himself in to the police. 41-year-old Pagan is scheduled to appear in court on November 24th, but the problems affecting his personal life have already started as he was recently fired by Post Media, where he worked as a sports copy editor. A spokeswoman for Post Media wouldn't elaborate on Pagan's departure, only noting that they were conducting their own internal investigation into the incident. Let's hope this fan's troubles find a conclusion soon. Speaking of the Blue Jays, their ALCS game against Cleveland didn't go the way they had hoped, but one Canadian man tried to cause the other problems for the away team. When the series shifted to Toronto games, 3-5 on October 17th, one activist tried to ban the use of the Cleveland Indians team name and logo, which has been around since 1915. Douglas Cardinal, an architect and a member of the Blackfoot tribe, tried to make sure there was no mention of the team's name during the game, hoping to have them referred to as the Cleveland team. Cardinal also wanted to make sure Rogers Communications removed all references of the team name and logo from their broadcastings, citing racial discrimination. Superior Court Judge Tom McEwen ended up ruling against the lawsuit just hours before the Game 3 was set to take place. Many are now wondering why take action now, as Cleveland and other sports teams with controversial names have played in Toronto for decades without a problem. Only time will tell if this is a lone lawsuit or the beginning of a legal fury. A slightly disturbing story comes from Saskatchewan, as a convicted pedophile was, until recently, running for a Saskatoon Catholic School Board trustee. Dennis Hall was a teacher at Holy Rosary School in 1981 when he pled guilty to 2 counts of sexual intercourse with girls aged 14 to 16 and 2 counts of sexual assault. He served 18 months in jail and was released in 1982. Hall later returned to teaching after receiving a pardon for his crimes. Despite his past, there is no law prohibiting him or any other registered sex offender from running for a trustee. After a backlash from the community, Hall withdrew from the race on October 17th, saying, "The use of the terms pedophile and sexual assault by the mainstream media are completely and categorically false. I think since he pled guilty to doing those things, it seems like the media's words were pretty accurate." George Zimmerman is in the news again, only this time someone attacked him. You may remember the incident involving the neighborhood watchman from 2012 where he shot unarmed teenager Trayvon Martin, an offense he was acquitted of to the shock of many. This latest incident took place in a road rage incident when 38-year-old Matthew Apperson shot Zimmerman, who was in his car. Apperson said he acted in self-defense because Zimmerman pointed a gun at him first. However, Zimmerman disputed the claim, saying Apperson pulled up beside him and just started shooting. Apperson's family blames Zimmerman completely for the incident, with wife Lisa even saying that the police are giving Zimmerman a golden ticket to do whatever he wants. Apperson is sentenced to 20 years in prison. The largest offensive against terrorist group ISIS has begun. On October 17th, the Iraqi government forces, backed by the United States, launched an offensive to take Mosul, which has been under ISIS control for 2 years now. The U.S. has led airstrikes that have helped to push terrorist group back, but it's believed that up to 8,000 ISIS fighters may still be in Mosul. The plan to take back control of the largest stronghold from the group would be a major win for the Iraqi government. The offensive is expected to take weeks or even months of work to get the city back. It's been suggested that the city will even take longer to get back to the way it was once reclaimed. The daughter of United States Olympian Tyson Gay was shot and killed in the early hours of Sunday, October 16th, when gunfire erupted between two parked cars. 15-year-old Trinity Gay was hit in the neck when she was simply an innocent bystander outside a restaurant in Lexington, Kentucky. 3 men, aged 19 to 38, who are charged with the shooting, pled not guilty during their court appearance. 19-year-old DeMarco Taylor and his 38-year-old father are facing charges for wanton endangerment, their bail set at $5,000 each. 21-year-old Devonta Middlebrooks is also facing charges of wanton endangerment, as well as possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. His bail is set at $12,500. Deborah Conley, Trinity's grandmother, described her as a beautiful person, very outgoing and athletic. WikiLeaks editor-in-chief Julian Assange was partially cut off from the internet by Ecuadorian government. On October 18th, the government acknowledged that they did indeed cut off internet access to the country's London embassy. Assange has lived at the embassy since 2012, where he took up asylum to escape extradition to Sweden, where he would face a questioning in a sexual molestation case involving 2 females. Ecuador says it does not want to meddle in the U.S. elections process and says WikiLeaks' released hacked information is its own decision. WikiLeaks has been actively publishing information, what it calls compromising evidence against Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton, although the validity of the information presented by the self-described anti-secrecy group should be taken with a grain of salt. Assange has come out in complete favor of Donald Trump winning the U.S. presidential election. One juror from the 2012 case against Michael Rafferty in the murder of Tori Stafford is suing the government for compensation because she claims she developed PTSD while performing her civic duty on the case. The unnamed juror and her legal counsel believe she deserves compensation because she was made to do jury duty and developed a range of PTSD-related symptoms, including memory loss, extreme anger, and a shopping addiction that drained her of all her savings. Her lawyer, Barbara Liggett, believes the taxpayers should be on the hook to compensate her client for her health care and help to pay for her day-to-day expenses after she burned through her savings. This case can easily turn into a slippery slope for not just jurors who face tough cases, but to all people who suffer from PTSD because of work-related incidents. Many people were also upset over Liggett's reasoning for her client should get compensation, as she stated her client was involuntarily involved in the case and should get compensation. This brings up issues for veterans who serve their country with honor of their own free will and return with mental and physical health issues like PTSD. These men and women also face issues when it comes to getting the proper care and funding from the government they're entitled to. This lawsuit may cause more problems down the road or can be the start of something great for the people who serve on jury duty. We want to hear from you. Email us your thoughts at newsroom@thetorchgta.com. That's it for the news segment, Hi-Lightz with The Torch. Laura is up next with your top entertainment stories. If you have any comments or news stories you'd like us to cover, please email me at lisa.young@thetorchgta.com.
Hey, I'm Torch Entertainment anchor Laura Sarah, and I'm going to be bringing you the top entertainment stories each episode. We're also going to start off with a story related to the big event most people are talking about, the presidential election. I know you're probably bored already, but what if I told you this next story stars Peter Griffin? On the October 16th episode of Family Guy, the creators chose to add in a last-minute spoof of the Donald Trump tapes that swept across the nation not long before the second presidential debate. However, in this version of the tapes, we hear everyone's favorite funny guy, Peter Griffin, voiced by series creator Seth MacFarlane, on the bus with Trump. Please be advised there is some sexual content and coarse language involved in this video. Here it is.
Hey, thanks for letting me ride on the bus with you. Hey, you want to have some locker room talk?
I moved on her, actually.
Whoa, 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 that's not locker room talk. I meant like good play, good pass, like that kind of thing.
I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Well, as long as you didn't try to fuck her and she was single.
I did try and fuck her. She was married,
Oh, you're awesome. Hey, you ever thought of being president?
and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping.
Ah, sweet move. Was it Levitt's?
She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture.
Levitt's.
I couldn't get there, and she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look.
Well, it is 2005. Everything's changing. Which reminds me, I have an idea for this thing called Twitter, where crazy people can bash ladies and minorities at 3 a.m.
She's your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Oh, also Uber. I invented it, if you're listening to this in the future.
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
That's the cheapest breath mint. I thought you were a billionaire.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
What, like grab him by the hand?
Grab them by the pussy.
Oh, my.
I can do anything.
Down below. Pull the hell.
He can't open it because of his tiny hands.
MacFarlane has been a vocal advocate against the Republican nominee becoming president, often being attacked on social medias for his opinions by angry Trump supporters. Personally, I think adding Peter made the video hilarious, but that's just me. Thanks to Seth MacFarlane for the video. The Blue Jays World Series hopes were dashed on October 19th when they lost their fourth and final ALCS game against the Cleveland Indians. While the Jays hoped that they could rise out of their funk that dropped them in an 0-2 hole early on, they couldn't quite get their bats swinging. Some fans believe slugger Jose Bautista jinxed the team when he said the rookie Cleveland pitcher would be shaking in his boots. But personally, I don't think it was a jinx that kept those homers from coming. In the end, the Jays lost the series 3-1, but at least they got to go out at home. There's always next year, boys. Canadian actor Nathan Fillion recently broke his silence on the cancellation of his hit series, Castle. The show was nearing the end of its 8th season when it was announced that Fillion's co-star Stana Katic was leaving the show. This drove some fans to say they would stop watching if the show continued without her. In the end, ABC and Disney decided to cancel the series even though contract negotiations had already taken place for most of the remaining cast. According to Fillion, it wasn't the beautiful send-off that I think maybe you could have hoped for. In fact, the end wasn't the best, as his character Richard Castle and co-star's character Kate Beckett were left shot on the floor of their home before fast-forwarding 7 years to a happy ending with their 3 kids. It was said that ABC had filmed 2 endings, one for if the show got canceled and another for if the series would live to see another season. Molly Quinn, who played Castle's daughter Alexis on the show, made it clear that she believed the show could continue without Katic, as the show was called Castle, and after all, Nathan Fillion was the man of the show. According to rumors, Fillion and co-star Katic have hated each other for years, and her departure was because of that ongoing feud. While Castle was canceled too soon, hit zombie series The Walking Dead got its Season 8 renewal, and they got it before Season 7 even aired. Fans waited all summer to see who newcomer Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character Negan would kill off. But during a 2-hour retrospective episode, the AMC president announced that 16 new episodes would premiere in 2017, meaning fans had a whole lot more zombies to cram into their TV schedule. And now, let's look at some of the big movies that will be playing in theaters soon.
Two things are gonna happen. First, that phone over there is gonna ring. Second, you're gonna be wearing these cuffs. Just gonna keep on ringing.
Who the hell are you?
I'm the guy you didn't count on.
Jack Reacher, Purple Heart, Silver Star. You're a legend.
What else have you heard?
Coming out October 21st is the Jack Reacher sequel titled Never Go Back. The first movie was a box office surprise and quickly developed a following that warranted a second outing from Tom Cruise as the famed government agent. This time, Jack Reacher must try and uncover a government conspiracy while being on the run as a fugitive.
Reach is too close.
How's it going?
I don't like being followed.
Let's begin. We invite you into our circle. If that's you, give us a sign.
This is a scam.
Ouija, Origin of Evil also hits theaters on October 21st, and this sequel promises a more distinct and original story than the first. The movie takes place in 1965, where a widowed mother of 2 girls runs a seance scam and unwittingly invites evil into their home. Eventually, her youngest daughter is overtaken by a supernatural being, and the family fights for their lives and to send the spirit back.
Something is wrong with Doris!
By using the board, you've opened up a portal.
What are you doing? I'm not doing it! Stop it!
Are you looking for the perfect neighborhood? Look no further than Maple Circle.
Keeping Up with the Joneses keeps up with the rest of the October 21st releases. This movie features Wonder Woman and Batman vs. Superman star Gal Gadot, as well as former Mad Men star John Hamm, who are government spies that move in next door to a seemingly normal couple. Eventually, the normal suburban couple get roped into international espionage, and the adventure begins.
There's a switch. If you throw it, half the people on Earth will die. But if you don't, in 100 years, the human race will be extinct. I left you a path. The hardest one yet. Only you can finish it. You are humanity's final hope.
Coming out on October 28th is Inferno, the Tom Hanks lead sequel to the box office success The Da Vinci Code, and its sequel Angels and Demons. Dr. Robert Langdon is back, and waking up with amnesia, he fights his way across Europe to get back a deadly threat to humanity. The new movie promises the same mystery and intrigue that came with its predecessor.
Without Professor Langdon, no one could find the virus.
Oh my God.
Doctor Strange, you think you know how the world works? What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to.
Finally, the biggest movie of the season so far hits theaters on November 4th. Marvel's Doctor Strange brings Sherlock star Benedict Cumberbatch to the ever-expanding Marvel Universe as the Sorcerer Supreme. After famed neurosurgeon Stephen Strange suffers from a car crash, he loses the ability to operate and seeks a new way to heal, only to be drawn into the world of magic and becomes a new kind of hero. What many don't know is that Doctor Strange is considered by many to be one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. And with Avengers Infinity War just around the corner, what better time to bring in the character that can literally jump between worlds?
Stronger men than you have lost their way. I am death. In pain. You'll die protecting this world.
I can't do this.
There is no other way.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking for you.
What's this, my mantra?
It's the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages.
That's it for entertainment in our episode. If you have any comments or stories you'd like us to cover, email me at l.sarah@thetorchgta.com. And keep up with the rest of our web series and stories at www.thetorchgta.com. I'll be hosting our next series, Paranormal Questions, launching Halloween 2016.
I'm going to set my alarm for 3:20 a.m. and go sit on my golden toilet bowl and tweet about it until completion.
That's it for me, Laura Sarah, and I'll see you next time.